This is the final plan with me of my 20s. It was like a WebMD moment of when you Google your symptoms and WebMD is like, you're dying. Most importantly, I have money going into that account, so like, whatever, bro. But maybe some of you see this, look at this and you don't see consistency, but I look at this and I see consistency. What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the May plan with me. However, I do want to emphasize that it is still April and it is almost 80 degrees outside in New York City today, if you can't tell by my hair. My goodness, it is so warm and I can't have my window open because you are propped up right in front of my window. I don't have a good mic. Weird street sounds are already being picked up, so if I start sweating, just ignore it. I am not a hot weather person, as we've discussed plenty of times on this channel. So if you're new here, then welcome. My name is Sarah. I do weekly planning, but for the purposes of filming, I do monthly plan with me's at the beginning of every single month. Here we are today for the May plan with me. As usual, we'll be going through my Notion. I'll be providing updates on, oh gosh, what am I gonna provide updates on? The 30-day challenge that I discussed in my April plan with me for working out. Lots to talk about there. Monthly goals, wedding planning. As last time I said, I did get engaged, and you know what? I actually haven't posted a lot of videos since then, now that I'm thinking about it. So let me also take a second to apologize for that. But I do already have the vlog that's coming out after this video is already filmed, so I can guarantee you there's at least one more video coming soon. Yeah, just trying to get back into the swing of things. And now that summer is almost here, I'm feeling pretty confident about more of a routine falling into place. That said, I felt pretty good. I don't know, we'll get into all of that. We will get into all of that. But in the meantime, grab a beverage, grab a snack, grab a pen, a paper, whatever supports you best in planning your life. I found this kombucha in the back of my fridge. It's not expired. This expires on May 15th, which is just a few days after my 20s expire. Yeah, I feel like that is worth noting, that not only is this the May plan with me, but this is the final plan with me of my 20s. I'm 29. I will be turning 30 on May 11th, which is wild. So really, I'm not just planning for the final moments of my 29th year, but also the first moments of my 30th year, which is just like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, look at me. Don't tell me how old I look. But yeah, all that is to say that your girl's turning 30 soon, which I'm taking with grace and excitement, and honestly, I'm ready for this decade, honestly, to come to an end. This next decade is already looking very good. Lots of things to look forward to, not just a wedding, but other things as well. But we will get into it. Let me bring up my Notion. Here is my Notion dashboard. If you are new here, you'll get a little bit of a lay of the land as we go through things, but I never intend this to be a full-blown Notion tour every single month because then the video just gets too long. So if you're curious where I got my inspiration for all of my Notion templates, I will link them down below. I'll link those creators and give credit where credit is due, because not all of this came from my mind. I feel like every single plan with me, I am like in competition with my previous self to film the quickest plan with me every single time. So we're gonna try and make this short and sweet. So what all do we have to get into today? I think actually, like my last plan with me, I was filming on a Monday, which I am as well. If you can see, it is April 29th. So I can actually go through and create a weekly to-do list because I haven't done that yet this week. Stuff for the weekend. I did start to fill out my habit tracker and water intake tracker already since those reset on Monday, so I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, we can quickly think through this week in particular, then we will get into my monthly goals, revisit those, do the social media stuff, and we will also get into the movement little calendar and give you updates. Weekly to-do list, this will be April 29th through May 3rd. And then for the weekend, we're looking at a 4th and 5th. And truthfully, I'm just gonna kind of delete these things right now because I am leaving for Delaware, which is where I'm from, which is where my family is, on Saturday to go stay there for the better part of a week so I can spend some time with my family for my 30th birthday. So yeah, weekend to-do list, there really isn't one. It is doing the absolute least. That is my goal for the weekend. This is now just like combination of things I was supposed to do last week and even a couple of weeks ago, but also that I should probably now still need to prioritize it this week because I never got to those things. So what I'm saying for that is, I guess I can get rid of my eat in a day. I posted that last week. Film my plan with me so we can add edit plan with me. The financial thing still stands. That's linked to a monthly goal, and I'm not being that hard on myself because I am contributing to the new savings account that I opened every single paycheck, so that's not the problem. The problem is just, honestly, the problem is so stupid. What I mean by this is literally sharing the login information with my partner Evan, because we opened up that bank account together, but it was initially in my name first. And every single time he asked me for the login information, we're like, not a good time to be doing that. So then we forget. And then we do also need to make a more specific budget, not just for savings, but specifically for wedding planning, which we now have to do. Exciting, but stressful. An emergency savings fund, saving up for traveling, things like that. So that's really what I mean by that. It really isn't that big of a task. And for that reason, it's probably why it keeps getting pushed off. Most importantly, I have money going into that account. So like, whatever, bro. But I'll keep it there, you know. I'm gonna uncheck laundry because I do want to do a load of laundry before I leave for Delaware. Post TikTok, I'll keep that on there. We'll get to that when we get to the social media stuff. But also this week, I need to pack for Delaware. I need to plan my birthday. I think I showed this during my April plan with me down here, where I just like kind of brain dump on my dashboard page. I started writing down birthday ideas and I haven't really revisited that yet. So I definitely need to do that before I come back, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't have a lot of friends or people in New York, but for the few that I do, if I am going to do something, I need to let them know ASAP, because I like to be that kind of person that plans in advance, as you can tell. Really, this week is just kind of like wrapping things up, both at work, which I know I don't talk about my job a lot on here, and I, like, for my mental health, need to keep my work stuff separate from my personal life stuff. So I have all of my like work to-dos either on my work computer or on my iPad. Yeah, so I feel like this week is just like wrapping up things at work, so I'm gonna be off for the better part of a week. Personal stuff wise, like my focus right now is my birthday, seeing family. I guess I do have like some plans with friends that I need to solidify while I'm back in Delaware, but like I'm not gonna write that as a goal, that's silly. I'm not gonna do any baking because I'll be gone, though I mean, maybe I'll bake when I'm back in Delaware. My mom normally likes to bake me something for my birthday. I don't know what she has planned, so I don't want to ruin her intentions with that. But otherwise this week, like, I'm going out for a work dinner once. I'm going to a potluck for Evan's coworkers on a different day. Yeah, I just need to like focus on Delaware, packing, and getting ready for all of those things. Cuddle my cats. I don't know, it was like ongoing goals, but see, I always wonder why these plan with me's get so long, and then when I'm editing, I see moments like that where I'm just like, girl, shut up. We got it. You're good. Oh, you know what I can add, actually? Pay rent and bills. All right, so next I want to go into monthly goals. We can check in on the things and then we can create the new things. April goals, read one book. Now look, I don't recall exactly the words that I used in my April plan with me, but I do think I said something along the lines of the current book that I'm reading being like significantly longer than the books I've been reading the past couple of months. And if you haven't been here, I pretty much ignored reading for a very long time. I got back into it within the past couple of months. I've been doing about a book per month, but my most recent book that I'm on now, which is the American Royals series, I'm reading the last book in that series. It's like 300 something pages, I think, and I'm past 200, so like that's already probably longer than other books. So I want to check this off because honestly I'll probably finish it this week, which is just a couple of days into May, but also I've probably read more page-wise this month than I have in previous months, and that's rewarding enough. So we're just gonna cross it off, okay? Start looking at wedding venues. We did do this. We did this past Friday. It was actually really cute. Clouds are coming now. I think it's actually supposed to thunderstorm. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So yes, on Friday, we decided just to like stay in, have a casual night. We cooked some dinner. I offered like, why don't we start looking at wedding venues? As I mentioned in the last plan with me, when it comes to weddings and things like that, I don't have a lot of ideas already like predetermined in my mind. I haven't had just like a Pinterest board of weddings, whether like a real Pinterest board or just the concept of that in my brain, like since I was a kid, none of those things. And we're very laid back, easygoing type of thing, but we both agreed like the very, very least we need to secure a venue. That way the rest of the smaller details that like probably don't need as much attention, which is what I'm saying now. Again, I know things could change. Maybe I'll get picky, who knows? Those can fall into place after the fact. So on Friday, I was like, why don't we like go up into the loft and start looking at wedding venues? Like we'll have a bottle of wine, it'll be really fun, it'll be really cute. So we did just that. And while we were up there, I actually forgot that we had our projector set up. So then I brought my computer up. We projected it onto the wall. I think I have a picture I'll insert. Well, actually I won't insert the picture because the picture was of our guest list and I don't want people's names out there, but you get the idea. We were sitting up there, it was dark, the projector was on, music was playing, we were having a time emailing people, drinking wine. It was great. And that was on Friday at like 10 p.m. So it's actually just today that those venues are starting to get back to me. And I think what I'll make into a May goal is reaching out to people who I know who have gotten married to ask them about budgets, because when those venues started getting back to me about minimum costs of things, my heart sank. And yeah, we'll just say that. I have no frame of reference for how much a wedding costs, and Google did not. It was like a WebMD moment of when you Google your symptoms and WebMD is like, you're dying. I, Googled average cost of wedding in different states, mind you, and yeah, same vibes. So we'll cross that off. Plan engagement photos. Again, I think I said this before, I have the idea in my head, but I think with planning, what I meant more so was like finding a photographer, reaching out to the place we want to get the photos taken at. I didn't do those things. Honestly, wedding venue probably comes first anyway, so that's fine. Okay, this next one is so frustrating because when I tell you I wrote journal in my daily to-do list on my iPad probably every single weekday, and I didn't do it a single time. I even like had this small goal in my head of like, oh, it would be really helpful for this because I prefer to journal at night. I feel like that's just easier for me to like let go of the stressors of the day and think intentionally for the next day. So my intention was like, oh, I normally finish work around 7 on the days where I don't have a meeting up until 7 p.m. or even when I do, it takes like all of 10 minutes. Like take the final 10 minutes of my workday to just get out my iPad and do my little journal prompts and like, cool, done, great. Have I done that? No. But the idea that still sounds nice, and I did write journal on my to-do list for today, and actually after this I might have time, so maybe I'll just get that out of the way. Plan a fun solo day in New York or do something different. Ooh, I kind of forgot about this one. I kind of want to like half check it, and I think my next vlog is where I have the footage of like my solo day in New York, which are things, I film those on weekends when Evan has to work. It's not like I'm going out and doing great things, but I would like to go out and explore the city on my own a little bit more, do something new. I don't know, I don't want to ruin it. The next vlog isn't exactly, I think, what I had in mind when I thought of this, but it was still a day that I planned for myself where I remember very much. This was a couple weeks ago I filmed this, and I very much was not in the mood to film. I wanted to sit on the couch all day, do nothing. I think I even talked about it in the video. We'll see, I haven't edited it yet. But then I got myself out there and did things. Ended up being a really productive day. So whatever, I'm just gonna check it, but I'll probably keep that same goal for May. Okay, this next one, hold on. You can't say I'm not a committed ass bitch. I mean, look, I did that. I am crocheting. Also, I did not realize my shirt was quite literally almost the exact same color and material. That was not planned. I promise that was not planned. I wear this shirt all the time. I've been sitting on this one. I've been so excited to share that I've actually started a blanket, which you'll see a little bit more in the vlog that I keep referencing for next week. But I mean, I can't even show you. She's not a tiny blanket, let's just say that. She's also turning out to be an expensive blanket because, so long story short, I found a pattern on like TikTok or something that I really, really liked. I found it, I got blanket yarn that people were recommending in the crochet community, I guess, if that's what you all call yourselves. And so I started, and based off of like research I was doing for the same pattern, but other types of yarn, I guess, I thought, 5 balls of yarn would be good. This right here, this is 2 balls of yarn. So I'm not quite sure 5 is gonna cut it. I would like it to cover at least half of my body, but the whole thing, if not more, would be great. So I can fit both Evan and I and the cats under here. Those 5 balls of yarn with a 30% discount were $40. So I don't even want to think about how many more balls of yarn that I need to finish out a whole ass blanket. I know with certainty it's gonna be in the hundreds, so this might be a slow project. And I'm just waiting for Michaels to send me more coupons. But you know what? It'll be worth it. It's cute. It's a waffle pattern. It is like the perfect dark green color that I was looking for to go for the pink and green theme in our living room. So I'm obsessed. Really, it's gonna be great. Okay, then here we are back to things that have become weekly goals because I just can't get my shit together. Plan birthday, have not done. Financial planning, haven't done. So let's go ahead and make a new month. Make May the birthday cake because that's my birthday. So we'll just carry over a couple of things. So, I mean, I'll keep plan engagement photos on here, but it's not that big of a deal if we don't get to it. Journal 4 times. Financial planning, definitely will keep on there. But going off the whole wedding thing, I think keep reaching out to venues, talk to married friends about their budget. I feel like these are all logistical things, not that they aren't fun, they're kind of like bigger ideas that need to come to fruition and also can involve a little bit of stress just because it's linked to finances, and money stresses me out. So I feel like for funsies I need to add on something that's like low stakes, I mentioned that like Pinterest board earlier that I don't have. Yeah, I feel like I need to make a Pinterest board for wedding things, whether it's for decorations or dresses or ideas. I don't know, maybe all of the above, maybe different boards. I'm excited. I think that will be fun, you know, the next rainy day, which might be tonight, just go onto Pinterest and start saving things. Oh, I think something that I want to bring on to here that I've talked about wanting to be more intentional about, but I don't think I've actually incorporated it specifically into like this type of specific planning, more so just like thoughts that I have. But back in January when I did my New Year annual goals reset plan with me type of thing, I do recall talking about wanting to be more intentional with socializing, with friendships, family, keeping up with people. Or maybe was that in January, or is that my like March quarterly reflection? Either way, sentiment still stands. That's something I want to be better at. And there's actually two people in particular that I am well overdue for a FaceTime call with. So I'm writing these things down and I'm holding myself accountable to it. And we're all busy, things happen, things come up. But I am making these two things, FaceTiming with Sydney and FaceTiming with Julie, who I know, girl, you be watching sometimes. So you see this, I see you. We're talking soon. I miss you. That was aggressive. It's okay, she gets it. And other than that, thinking about May, I have some time off for my birthday. I'll be traveling around between Delaware and New York. I'm also traveling for some work things in May as well. There's a lot going on. You know, this feels doable. This feels fun. This feels doable. Oh, I can read. I don't have current or next book picked out yet, I don't think, but especially assuming I'm going to finish American Royals in the next couple of days, fingers crossed. Maybe while I'm in Delaware I can get another book. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, definitely read another book. I'm obviously going to keep crocheting. I don't want to put a goal to finishing this blanket just because it is now linked to financial things, so we will see what happens. Alright, since I know it's going to be quick, I figured we can go into my social media, which for right now is mostly just my growth tracker. I should actually plan my content in my content calendar because I don't think I've done that in quite some time, and as you might already know, I did not post a lot in April, but a lot of things came up. But let's just quickly see what the numbers are. I don't think, yeah, I did not reach 2,000 yet. Honestly, I feel like I probably could have had I stayed consistent with my posting, but I think I only posted twice. So in April, I now have 2,954 subscribers, which is only a gain of 24. But what is kind of fun is that we're at the point where after this plan with me, so starting in May, we'll be able to go back and, you know, compare things, you know, May 2024 versus May 2023, June, July, all these things. So I think that's what's helpful about this, is being able to, you know, as time goes on, track that progress and see how it's growing over time, all of that. So my watch time for the past year has gone to 1,324 hours, and lifetime views are at 249,809. So for May, we will keep 3,000 subscribers as the goal. I'm not going to get into my monthly goals for social media because they're probably the same as they were in April, solely because I know I didn't reach them. I still need to work towards them. Also, I just want to be able to quickly move into my movement calendar. So very quick recap, though I do encourage you to just go watch my April plan with me if you would like. But in April, just to kind of get the motivation really growing and build more intention around being active, I think my goal technically was to run or do spin every single day, with the caveats being any day that I'm working both of my jobs just wasn't realistic, so those were like my rest days. And then if it was a situation where time was an issue or the weather was an issue, you know, I could swap a spin for a run or vice versa, go for a very long walk. Maybe it was a mental health thing and I just could not be bothered to put in heavier cardio, or the weather, the time commitment of it all, just doing like a weighted workout inside. So those were kind of my alternatives there. Really, truly, at the end of the day, knowing that like realistically, was I gonna hit all 30 days? Probably not. And does that sound kind of like shitty to say that I didn't have that expectation to myself? No, I think it's, you know, looking at the reality of the situation very realistically. How many times can I say that word? But just having something larger to strive for and something specific. As you'll see, I planned out what I was gonna do every single day based off of, you know, my schedule that week, whatever. But mostly what I was looking for here was consistency as a method of building up the internal motivation, and not just constantly chasing after the ability to say that I did it, but more so like running towards something that's gonna like make me feel good and I genuinely want to do it, not just feeling like I have to do it, if that makes sense. So with that, we can go to the calendar and I can give you a quick rundown of what we see here. I'm hopeful that you're seeing what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing when I first look at this is the number of blue check marks that are there versus not. I can update today. I went for a run today, so that's an extra little one. But truthfully, like, I have to say, again, there's obviously days that like I didn't do what I was going to do, or I even made a section for notes where I either described why I didn't do something or why I changed what I planned to do. But like, honestly, I'm so proud of myself for seeing all of the accomplished days. I mean, truly, this is more movement than I've gotten in months. I don't know. I can't tell you the last time that I've been this consistent, and maybe some of you look at this and you don't see consistency, but I look at this and I see consistency. And like I said, it's also about like the feeling that I get. And it's just been so interesting in such a short amount of time, knowing that I haven't been 100% perfect or consistent, which is never going to be my goal, but like just the feeling that I get, you know, in such a short period of time. There have been days where like I was like craving to go out and run, which sounds wild because I still don't, you know, when I think about running, I don't enjoy it necessarily. Like, it does feel good, but there have been moments where like I'm just sitting inside and I'm just like, damn, like I really wish I had time to go for a run right now, or like I wish I didn't have to wait until later, or, you know, whatever it is, like that craving feeling, you know, in moments of anxiety, especially last week, you know, I felt moments of stress where I'm just like, ooh, if I could just put on my sneakers and run out the door right now, it would solve all of my problems. And that's something new I don't think I've experienced with exercise before. Even in previous times where I was more consistent, I don't know, just that urge is very new, and I'm gonna keep leaning into this urge going into May. Going off of that as well, I don't think I thought about this when thinking through this and setting this all up in April, but knowing that this is what I accomplished going into my last couple of days of 29, I think is really cool. Like, such a good way to end off the year, and it makes me think about how on my 29th birthday last year, I was very intentional about going for a 7 a.m. spin class. I was like, I need something to like set me up for success this year. Just, you know, I probably attached that sentiment specifically to like being active and movement and working out, but it was probably, you know, subconsciously linked to other things. And obviously it's been up and down from a physical standpoint in a lot of different ways. Mentally, it went really down for a while, but then went up and has been going up, and I feel good about that. So I don't really know what I'm saying at this point, but I think just overall, this has been a good way to close out 29 in April, and I don't know, I'm happy, I'm doing well. So you could see, like, April 2nd, 8:15, I wanted to go for a spin class. It was rainy. I think I needed time to edit. Yeah, so I did a weighted workout instead. I think this is the only day that I opted for a weighted workout versus just like going for a run or a walk instead. Let's see, then the 6th, this was another interesting one. So as you can see, I checked it even if what I did differed from my original goals. So, and then, you know, there are days like the next day where your girl drank maybe just a little bit too much, and I don't think I was ever really hungover on any weekend day. When you get to be a little bit older, just drinking takes it out of you. I was sleepy, I wasn't feeling it. It happens, right? The week of the 15th is funny. Well, it's not funny. I was not sleeping well. This happens to me like, I swear it's like quarterly. I'll just get these weird bouts of insomnia. I don't think it's necessarily linked to anything. Like, this week in particular, I was working in the office every day, but normally that doesn't bring me stress, so I don't think that's what it is. With having to go into the office every single day, I have a long commute. It takes up more of my time, which means I have less time to be active. You know, I was allowing myself to sleep in later on these days to make up for sleep, because sleep, I think I even said it in one of these things, like, sleep is a priority for me before movement, because that's just foundational to mental health and well-being. I think when I'm gathering, with the exception of maybe the time where I drank a little bit too much the night before, like, there is good reason for most of the times that I did not finish certain things. And I know I don't have notes on all of these, but I know for this weekend in particular, I can say Saturday ended up being really busy. I chose to do social things and see people I haven't seen in a while instead of go for my run. And you know what? That sits okay with me. Sunday, I didn't go for a run, but Evan and I were intentional about being outside because it was so nice. We went for a walk, we got coffee, we read books outside, had these two, and even, I don't even know what happened. Last Sunday and Monday, I had these situations happen earlier in the month. I probably would have felt worse about it, but I think the fact that I started off the month so strong, with the exception of like these 2 days, just helped so much. Overall, I know I'm going on about this a lot, but I'm hopeful it might be helpful for other people who are kind of on similar journeys. I think I talked about like Morgan Adams, and I've been watching her videos recently and what her kind of like health workout journey has been, and I don't know, I relate to that in a lot of different ways. I've been inspired by her. Oh, I think just the last thing I want to say here is, because I know it impacted me at least once during this in terms of filming and editing, and I know it's going to impact me tomorrow. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to that spin class because I need to edit this video. So I'm going to go for a run most likely. So I think going forward, just being mindful of like, you know, I did a really good job of considering the days where I was working remotely versus in the office, the times where I was working both of my jobs. I think the next piece here is to consider like the other things going on in my life a little bit more so I can be more intentional of the goals that I have for movement while also allowing for like flexibility and leniency for those things that are also priorities. Like, is filming and editing like the most important thing in my life? No, but it is important to my creative well-being. Oh boy, all right, I feel like I honestly just blacked out for like 30 minutes and rambled on about God knows what. So if you made it this far, thank you for sticking with it. I'm definitely excited to meet back here again at the end of May to see how things went, give you all updates about wedding planning, give you updates about my birthday, hopefully good ones, give you updates about movement. I do think I want to make another calendar for May very similar to the April one. See my process now, so I will not bore you with the details of why and how I'm creating it, but I can show you in May what it looks like, what I accomplished. All right, this will conclude my rambling. Thank you for being here. Happy May to you. Stick around for my vlog coming out next week about doing my thing around New York City. Get all the not so important details about this silly little crochet project, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.